team, welcome to our last video on theme 7. So by this point of the unit 2 exam, when you get to theme 7, which would be question 3, you know that's your last theme. You don't do question 4, which would be theme 8. Okay, so welcome to theme 7 on social development. So let's have a look then. Theme 7, social development issues. Let me just grab my pen. Study the table below. Population data for Angola from 2000 to 2014. You've got the year from 2000 down. Literacy rates, okay, we can see slightly increasing. Death rates, pretty steady and then decreasing. So that's actually an improvement by decreasing. And then birth rates, decreasing over time. And GDP then, okay, gross domestic product, increasing. So, our first question then, define birth rates. Tick one box for 1 mark. So, birth rates, the number of births in a country, not the complete definition. The average number of children a woman has in her lifetime, no. The number of births per 1,000 of the population per year in a country. Correct, that one. So we tick it. Okay, a little bit of numeracy here then. Give the median literacy rate for 1 mark. Okay, now remembering median means middle. Okay, so literacy rates. Now they've already, so median middle literacy rate. So you might have a good way to do this in maths, but answer 68.5. Okay. Next then. Describe the changes in death rates for 4 marks. Now you're going to have the table in front of you, but I can tell you that between 2000 to 2009 it fluctuates. Okay, so 2000 to 2009 fluctuates. It fluctuates between 24 to 24.9. Oops, obviously you would write this in sentences. 2009 to 2014, it decreases. From 24 to 11.6. Okay, you could also put the highest and lowest. Okay, so you could put the highest and lowest. Put them down here as an additional thought though, because do they give the changes? Well, yeah, they do, and they can be your extra security points because it's out of 4, so you can give those as your emergency marks. Next question then, analyse. So the links between the relationship between GDP per capita, literacy rates and population change. Use evidence from the data table for 6 marks. Okay, so we're making links between GDP, literacy rates and population change. Okay, and obviously as GDP increases, you would expect literacy rates to increase because people have more money put into education, so they can access education. And from that, your death rate and your birth rate are going to decrease. Your birth rate is going to decrease because your women are going to be being educated. They're going to be in school rather than, and then they're going to get jobs and they're going to have children later in life. Equally, the children that they have, because they've been educated on how to look after them, have a better chance of survival, so they'll have less children and they'll provide for those children. Your death rate will slowly decrease. because you will be introducing medical care, people will be learning to look after themselves, vaccinations, etc., as your GDP increases. So obviously you would write this as sentences, but as GDP increases, your death rate decreases because, and this isn't an extensive list, but there's an increase in vaccinations available because people have got more money, an increase in hospitals so people can get the medical care they need, there's an increase in sanitation, there's access to clean drinking water. That's not extensive, there's more than that, okay? Also, as GDP increases, literacy rates increase because there's an increased spending on education. So people have got more money to spend on education. Governments can invest in people's education, okay? Also, you could notice, as a little anomaly if you wanted to, that between 2003 to 2005, the death rate actually increased. Bit of an anomaly there. Could it be because of war, conflict? Okay, so you could mention that. But essentially, as GDP increases, literacy rates also increase, death rates decrease, birth rates also decrease because women are getting educated, getting jobs, having children later in life, but the birth rates decrease slower than the death rates. I think I said that wrong a minute ago. So the death rate reduces quickly because people have access to medical care. So that's a quick fix, so to speak, or a quicker fix than the birth rate, which reduces slower, because the birth rate requires a change over time. It requires women being educated through, getting a job, and then having children later in life. So that takes a longer time to change than the death rate. I think I said that wrong a minute ago. Okay, so that's your 6 marker there done. We turn over. Right. Study the box below. Give three more factors that lead to change in birth rates for 3 marks. So they've said age that women start a family, as we discussed a minute ago, availability of contraception. You could, this isn't all of the list, there is more, but you could have access to education. And because it says give, you don't need to explain them, you just literally say what they are. Access to better healthcare. And also you could say increased wealth. Now you could have more than those as well. You've got access to the mark scheme on your emails, but there's 3 there for you. Now, a classic mark here. Give 1 reason why the age, why the age women start a family will affect the birth rates for 2 marks. Okay, so our point will probably be when women have babies at an older age, it decreases the birth rate or reduces the birth rate. And then our second point, because the mother will focus on the career first, rather than children. And then you can have your third point for your safety point. So that means they have children later in life. So they have less children because they have a shorter window to have children. In Angola, many children work rather than go to school. Okay, so Angola, many children work rather than go to school. Working children aged 5 to 14 is 25.7%. School attendance is 65.4%. Give the percentage of children aged 5 to 14 who do not work or attend school. Now remember, you're going to have a calculator. It's only 1 mark, so you don't have to show your workings, but 65.4 take away 25.7, your answer is going to be 8.9%. Okay, 8.9%. All right, little numeracy question for you there. So next then, image, and we know in a suggest from an image question you have to be able to see it in the picture. So study the photograph below, children working in Angola. Suggest one consequence of work for these children. Use evidence from the photograph for 2 marks. So we know our point needs to be explained. I'm going to give 2 examples here. First one, we can see from the photograph that the children are working. So the children are not in school. That means that they are less likely to get a well-paid job in the future. So there's the second point. Get a well-paid job in the future. So there's our second mark. So that's one of your options. Another option you could have is, so our second option that you could have had for this is dangerous environment. You can see from the environment in the picture that it's not safe. So dangerous environment, and that could lead to injury. So there's your second point, second mark there, okay? Now, your last question for this theme then. Explain why it's difficult to increase the girls in education in sub-Saharan Africa for 4 marks. Now, you could have had the culture of the society is male dominated. Okay, so traditionally girls stay at home to cook, they stay at home to look after the family. Okay, so you could have talked about the tradition and the culture of the society being male dominated. Women stay at home to cook, look after the family, so they don't get educated. You could also add to that women marry young, which means they have children young, so they stay home to look after those children. Okay, now after children, when you get to the end of each question, it does say end of question. So here it says end of question 3, which actually we know is the end of our exam. I know in your Unit 1 exam that some of you, there was like a blank page before the last question. You have to make sure that you keep turning the pages over until you find this end of question. And end of question 3 is the end of your exam, because you would turn over and it's theme 8. Question 4 is on theme 8, environmental challenges. We have not done that, okay? So you don't answer theme 8. But I just want to say, really well done, because we always say we're so proud of you. You're working so hard, and well done for watching this video. Well done, everybody.